Jim Brogan. I was born here. I've been here all my life. I have 2 degrees from the University of Tennessee. So we do wealth management and retirement planning. So what does that really mean? Anything in your life that could impact your finances, whether it's investing money, whether it's how to structure income, if we can optimize our taxes, so we serve people. And that's part of our mission statement. We serve people.
Well, good morning, friends. How are you this morning? It's Friday Eve. Grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, and let's try to get through the forecast here for the day today. Obviously, we had some terrible news in the U.S. history yesterday. We're not going to talk about that. This is not a political platform, but just thoughts and prayers to lives lost yesterday. Let's just say that. All right? There we go, Carcane. I'm with you on that one, buddy. And anybody else being affected by it, because, of course, we had a school shooting over in Colorado yesterday as well. I think it was yesterday anyway, so here we are. We're back at it, but we'll leave that there. So, all right, my friends, let's talk about the rain out there this morning. We actually have a couple of light showers showing up. I know I had a 0% chance of rain. This is from a decaying system from the north and west, and just enough little low-level instability to kind of keep these showers going from Cumberland County, Crossville to Spring City, maybe a couple sprinkles over towards Kingston. Down toward Lenore City, Loudon, Spring City, and Athens, Madisonville may see a couple of light showers or a quick little sprinkle here or there. And I think that's going to be about the extent of it here this morning. All right, I always like to keep you in check on what was happening yesterday versus what was going on today. Yesterday I was forecasting 82. See if I can get that on the screen there for you. We made it to 80 degrees, so not too terribly bad. We were still trending below average yesterday. Average high is 84. Record is 97 degrees, set back not too long ago, 2019. And if you think it's been nice and comfortable, well, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but some heat's going to be working its way back in. Good morning, Rhonda. How are you this morning? Good morning, Eva. We got Eva, Denise, Julie, counting down to fall football. Amen to that, sister. Yes. Big old football game on Saturday, kickoff at 3:30. I've got your forecast for that. That's coming up here in just a moment as well. Good morning to Krista. You used to live in Evergreen. I'm from Denver, so there we are. All right. About to go walk just south of Farragut. Will it be dry? Yeah, I don't think Farragut's going to get much. Maybe a sprinkle. I think that's going to be about the extent of it. It might be refreshing. April, it might be refreshing. By the way, thanks for joining me on Instagram here this morning as well. All right, so we had a nice, comfortable day yesterday. These mornings have been incredibly comfortable. Why? Well, we still have a trough hanging out with us. When you look at the pattern on the upper levels of the atmosphere, this is known as an omega block, okay? So we've got low pressure to our west, low pressure to our north and northeast, high pressure down to our south. Now, this ridge of high pressure to our south and southwest will gradually work its way on in, and as it does so, that's what's going to continue to bring us some heat. There's a batch of clouds this morning. Futurecast, I've got the, listen, what you're going to notice on the Futurecast is notice some blues showing up. I've got it toned way down on the DBZ value, if you will, on the Futurecast. So I think we're just going to have what we had yesterday, a couple of fair weather cumulus clouds. I actually don't think that we're going to see any rain. I actually forgot to change that back, but maybe a sprinkle or two, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I think what we are is just what we had yesterday. We'll call it partly cloudy skies during the afternoon. Good morning, Lisa. How are you this morning? All right, temperatures. We start off in the 50s, comfortable. By lunchtime, we're going to be in the mid-70s. Not bad. 70, sunny, and 75. Can't go wrong with that. 83 as the kiddos head home from school today. Well, that's going to be our goal today. Our highs typically come down between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. A little bit warmer in Chattanooga at 87. A little bit more comfortable in Tri-Cities and along the Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky border. we're going to have temps right there in the low 80s. Again, I'm going to keep us rain-free. I know we've got a couple of showers out there this morning, but I think we're general idea is this ridge of high pressure builds on in. That's going to keep us rain-free. Not a lot of rainfall in the outlook here over the next 7 days per the Climate Prediction Center, and above and beyond that, there's not much of a story except for the dry air and the dry weather. So we may continue to stay on the drier side. Again, can't stress it enough. September's our second driest month of the year. October, our driest month. We need some rain when we can get it because we don't want to go into a drought situation into the driest month of the year. Average high for this time of year is now 84. If you recall, August 23rd is when those temperatures started to change and come on down. And from here all the way through the fall months, those temperatures drop pretty quickly. We start to lose the sunset, the daylight, each and every day as well. Looking into the weekend and above and beyond, we're going to be pushing the upper 80s to low 90s, so it is going to be a little bit on the toastier side. But notice that Saturday forecast, so let's highlight it. UT versus Georgia, kickoff 3:30, and it's going to be a toasty game. A good late summer football game at Neyland Stadium is what I'm talking about. Plenty of sunshine. The sweat factor goes up. Dew points come up a little bit. Temperatures come up into the upper 80s. We'll probably have heat index values right around 90 to 92. And we'll have abundant sunshine. So Sunburn City, if you're heading off to Neyland Stadium. Of course, we got game day down there this weekend. It is going to be a packed house in downtown Knoxville. Above and beyond the 7-day forecasts, like I said, the heat may start to build its way back in September 17th through the 21st and may continue that trend all the way through the latter part of the month, taking us all the way through the 25th. We may continue to stay above, or trend, I should say, above average for this time of the year. Well, there you go. So it's been nice to have a comfortable into August and start to September, but that late summer heat is going to start to build its way on in. Seth says, love the new social formats. Nice. Thanks, Seth. Trying to change things around. If you saw it on social media, you may see 1 Minute with Witcher has changed a little bit. Social media updates have changed a little bit. Just trying to see how we can play with the algorithm so we can get the most information out to you. If you like it, please like, share, and subscribe to it just to help everyone see exactly what's going on around the area. I don't want that on there. There we go. Take that off. Good morning, Brian. How are you this morning? Love the warm weather more than the cold weather, says Krista. I think the seasons are nice. I like the cold weather because we're big skiers at the Witcher family. I like the hot weather because we paddleboard and love the lake life. And then, of course, you have fall and spring. If you were to pick fall and spring, what's your favorite season? I'll probably go fall. But I like spring. I like fall because it reminds me of living in Colorado. You get the dry air setting up shop. It feels comfortable in the morning hours and the evening hours. You can go for a nice little stroll around the neighborhood and not sweat to death. And you're not really dealing with the allergies that we deal with in springtime, right? But I also like spring because I like the growth. I like the rejuvenation of life after winter. And then, of course, I love summertime because you can swim in pools, and I don't work outside. So if you work outside, obviously, you're like, summer's not really for me, nor is winter. So spring and fall may be your favorite months. Sharon, I hope you have a wonderful and safe, blessed day as well. Did you try the sandwich shop in Gatlinburg on East Parkway? We 100% did, and it was awesome. Let's see, what did I get? I got I forgot what I had. What did I have, Seth? I'm blanking on what I had. Oh, no, I had a kimchi. I had a chicken sandwich, a grilled chicken sandwich with kimchi mayo on it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Great sandwich shop. What was that sandwich shop called again? Throw it in the chat, Lisa, so we can give that sandwich shop a shout out in Gatlinburg. I always like to give shout outs. Kimchi. If you like kimchi, I don't know if you do, but anyways, let's take you outside and show you what it looks like. Again, it's a foggy start to the day in downtown Clinton here this morning. That's a live look, but we've got some beautiful views. I'll just show you the other cameras. I've got another camera back up and running here. This is our Fort Loudon camera. How about that view? Remember, it was on the side of the dock, and we saw the little eave of the dock. They have now moved it to the front of the dock, giving us a little better view. I think I need to have them tilt it up a little bit and maybe straighten it out a little bit. Maybe if they tilt it up. Because it's a 180 camera, that's a 180 view. And so straight down the channel there on the far right-hand side of the screen, like right here, that is Fort Loudon Dam right there. Isn't that cool? I was watching some boaters there yesterday as well. And you can get these online. You can check out time lapses from the previous day as well. All right, my friends, let's get to work with this national holiday, shall we? I think we shall. We'll move right along. We've got lots to talk about here this morning. All right, so today's national holidays. Of course, it's September 11th. We're celebrating birthdays and events. And we'll take a quick moment of silence for the lives lost on September 11th. You know, I've told you the story before, but 6 months after 9/11, I got the chance at my first TV station to go to New York City. We shot a 6-part news series. I've posted some of that information on social in previous days. I'll post it again throughout the day today. And had a chance to spend about 3 or 4 days there shooting the 6-part series. You know, I was a photographer at the time, and it was incredible. We got exclusive access to places that nobody else had access to. We were interviewing a New York City police officer, and I asked him, I said, listen, New York City police officers, they're tough dudes and men and women, right? They're tough cookies. And I asked this guy, and this guy's a big New Yorker, a bigger dude, just solid. If you think New York, New Jersey, I mean, that's just who this guy was. And we were interviewing him, and my reporter was asking him some questions, and I said, listen, let me ask you a question. I said, you're a dad. How does that make you feel, knowing that a lot of people lost their dads and moms and grandparents? Man, I had that New York City cop crying. Not that I was trying to get him to cry. Obviously, it made for a great news story. But it just, these guys have to hold up any of these things, at any of these events, right? These people who protect us every single day, police officers and all these people, they have to see the worst of the worst. 9/11 obviously being one of the worst. We saw something yesterday. It's just, these people have lives and families and hearts and souls and feelings, and they have to do a job every single day. So big shout out to all law enforcement, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, anybody that is a first responder. Big shout out to you all. You have to try to figure out how to cope with your feelings after situations like that we have in America, that we have every day. So thank you for all of your hard work. It is tough. All right, I digress. It's National School Picture Day. What? If I would have known that, I would have showed you one of my school pictures. I don't think I'll probably be able to get it up fast enough, but I'll post that on social media today. I've got some school pictures that, call it what it is, right? It's National Hot Cross Bun Day. I know, go sing the song, Hot Cross Buns. I don't think I've ever had a hot cross bun. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I don't really know. It's National Make Your Bed Day. Do you make your bed every day? Do you think it's important to make your bed every day? Do you like making your bed every day? Or are you just like, yeah, my bed ends up like that. I'll just make it at nighttime, crawl back in. I will tell you, I've never been one to get up out of bed and make the bed, but I'll make it before I go to bed. Because there's nothing worse than getting into a discombobbled bed. You're trying to get in the covers, and you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? But it's National Make Your Bed Day. So before you head off to work, maybe make your bed today, even if you don't typically do it. And it's Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance, of course, it being September 11th. Those are your national holidays for the day today. We'll take you to downtown Gatlinburg. Actually, we'll show you what it looks like live on Anakeesta. Beautiful view up on top of Anakeesta here this morning. How about that 180 view? Doesn't get much better than that, my friends. Beautiful. Gorgeous views way up there on top of the mountains. Trying to get into some Witcher's pictures here because I want to be able to share you some Witcher's pictures as well. But, of course, we need to continue. Well, we don't have to, but we're going to continue with the other stuff that's happening around the country. And that would be national holidays here on this day. I don't know where my national holidays went. Oh, no, I think I lost them. Well, we won't be able to do that today. I don't know where they went. But we'll talk about this date in history. I don't have the weather date in history. I don't know where that went. but we'll find it. In 1974, by the way, Little House on the Prairie made its television debut. 1974, just 3 years before I was born. In 1954, the Miss America beauty pageant made the network TV debut on ABC. Miss California, Leanne McWhirter, was the winner. In 1936, Boulder Dam in Nevada was dedicated to the U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt by turning on the dam's first hydroelectric generator. The dam is now called, anybody? Hoover Dam. In 1883, the mail chute was patented by James Cutler. The new device was first used in the Elwood Building in Rochester, New York. And in 1847, Oh, Susanna was sung in the public for the first time. Stephen Foster sold the rights to the song for a bottle of whiskey. Oh, Susanna. You know what I'm talking about. And so I'm not going to be able to get weather history here for the day today. So we will move right along. Let me show you some Witcher's pictures here this morning. See if we got any good ones coming in. I believe we do from yesterday. Oh, we got a couple good ones. Here's one from Julie Ward. Good morning from Whitesburg, she says. Ooh, that's a gorgeous East Tennessee sunrise, Julie, from Whitesburg, Tennessee. I've got another great one from Bill Lyle looking toward Oak Ridge from Lenore City here this morning. Got a few batch of clouds hanging out with us. And, of course, it's probably going to be sideways. If you can take those photos horizontal, they will present a little bit better. It's the whole thing with, when HD TV first came around and the digital platforms that TVs, when we went from analog to digital, it opened up a bunch of other space for the TV stations to broadcast. But I remember when we did that and cell phones started to come around and cameras on cell phones started to come around, people were taking vertical photos. We're like, okay, turn them sideways. Then, of course, social media and TikTok came around, and now everybody shoots everything vertically. Which I say, which is why I'm trying to figure out the good old social media platforms. I don't think I'll ever have those figured out. I don't think anybody. The sandwich shop was Joe and Pops. Yeah, it was a good one for sure. Not trying to figure out social media, right? The algorithms, how people consume. I know Facebook's going more towards TikTok, and TikTok's all vertical views. So I'm trying to change a few things up. We're going to see how it populates. If it doesn't populate very well, we'll go back to the old-fashioned style because that seems to be doing well. But we'll just kind of see how it plays out together. How about that? Does that sound like a plan? I think that sounds like a plan to me. But again, if you don't like it, please let me know. Do you like the new format? Have you seen the new format? Let me show you what it looks like. If you've not seen the new format on social media. So if you go to my app, of course, this is what you'll see. Let's try that again, shall we? If you go to the app, this is what you'll see. There we go. All right, so there's what the app looks like, obviously. If you click on 1 Minute with Witcher, or if you see it on Facebook or social media, this is the view that you will see. And we'll just mute that so you can... I'm not going to be able to make it bigger. But you see current conditions. You see this morning we had a little bit of rain, so I showed the rain there on the left-hand side of the screen. And then below that, we see all the forecasting. So I don't know if you like that kind of style. Let me know if you like that kind of style. When you make it big, it fits on the cell phone perfectly. If you watch it on digital or on the desktop, it doesn't work so well. But anyways, if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, don't forget to go to your app store, search East Tennessee Weather, or log on to easttnweather.com. I've got links there at the top of the website. Or just go to your app store and search East Tennessee Weather. Did you happen to see, I wanted to show you a picture, actually. We'll go back to here for a second. I did want to share one photo with you coming from my buddy at Orange Hat. And they, on Thursday, were in a tornado warning. And he does keep East Tennessee Weather up in the brewery all the time, or most of the time anyways. But he put East Tennessee Weather up on the big screen. That was Thursday during the tornado warning. I know he's super excited about me being on the TV. But that is like one very large Witcher. But my point to the story is this. Remember, I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, the website. I had some other folks passing along the fact that they were watching me during getting their hair did at the salon. They put me up on the iPad. But again, if severe weather or inclement weather is moving on in, make sure you put East Tennessee Weather up on your big screens in your businesses and restaurants, so everybody can see what's going on. He had patrons inside the brewery, so he was like, let's put Witcher up, because it was just clipping Hardin Valley anyways. And you can see Hardin Valley was just on the left-hand side of the screen. So it was a serious situation for folks in and around that area. So thanks, Rodney, for putting me up on the big screen. Much appreciated, my friend. Again, you can always do that through Roku TV, YouTube, Amazon Fire, if you have those. So make sure you do that into your business establishments. And if you do, just shoot me a picture. Let me know. We'll come highlight your business. And highlight your business for supporting another local business like East Tennessee Weather and helping your patrons out. Good morning, Kathy. How are you? Joining us from Jellicoe this morning. Nice. Let's see. Sent some new pictures. I did not get them yet. I didn't get them yet, Felicia. Sometimes they come in quickly, sometimes they do not. Julie, you do like the new format, all right? Just trying to play with social media. Thanks, Rodney. Here we are, my friends. All right, it is now 7:52. Thanks for joining me for Wake Up with Witcher on this good old Friday Eve. Tomorrow is Football Friday. Don your orange, and you know what that means. I was out of town this past weekend, but big old orange suit is coming back this weekend. So tune in for Wake Up with Witcher on Saturday and join me on all East Tennessee weather platforms. Have a great day, my friends. Be safe, be kind to each other. If you're joining on the app and you joined in late, I'll send you right back to the forecast here in just moments. You can always get the latest forecast updates with the East Tennessee Weather app. We're online at easttnweather.com. I'll see you back here tomorrow.